you. Thanks so much, Sunil. Guys, I'd like to hear some noise. Come on, come on. This is Hyderabad. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. You have 2 or 3 Olympic champions. I'm sure you can shout louder than that. Come on, give us a big hand. Great, 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 great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you coming out after a long weekend and coming and spending some time with us. It's a great privilege and honor for Google to come to Hyderabad. As Sunil mentioned, that after 3 cities, this is actually the 3rd city, we are going to 5 cities in India. We have had some very successful interactions in Chennai and Bangalore, and I am sure that all of you over here will be able to benefit from what you learn. I also encourage you to quickly SMS your friends or ask them to come over, because I think there's some space over here, and I'm sure the organizers will not mind accommodating a few of your friends if they want to kind of come over and be a part of this great session. So what I'm going to do a little bit over here is talk a little bit about some of the success which we are seeing on the internet, some of the statistics, some of the data, some of the trends which we are seeing on the internet, and give you an overall picture of how things are moving in India. So before much ado, let me just dive into the presentation. Let's look at the year 1997, 15 years ago. A few phenomenal things were happening. One of your favorite sons, Mohammad Azharuddin, was still the captain of India, and he was one of my favorite cricketers. Saina Nehwal was still learning the baby steps of badminton, and she's become an Olympic champion. But what else was happening? Something phenomenal was happening in a small dorm in Stanford. 2 friends, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, were working on a PhD project, which today we know as Google. This is one of the first pictures or first websites of Google. And did you ever think that a PhD project, a college project, would become this phenomena today, which has changed the world? It's just unbelievable. And the reason why we are here today is because of that. So let's take one step forward. Let's look at the way businesses were doing business way back in 1997. And I like the year 1997 is because I started my career. I started working with small businesses like yours to figure out how you can advertise or how you can reach out to your customers. And I started in this beautiful city of Hyderabad. So I have special love for this city and love for the people of the city, and not to mention the food. And for the last 15 years, I have been working with small businesses, trying to help them enhance their business and make them successful in their business. I started off with Tata Press Yellow Pages. A lot of people, you would have heard of this brand. It is one of the most successful and iconic brands in the Yellow Pages industry. I have a few friends from the Yellow Pages industry here today, and they would acknowledge that. I worked with a lot of small businesses like yours to help them advertise in Yellow Pages. In 1997, if you were not a part of the Yellow Pages, for 1 whole year, you would miss out on business inquiries and business leads. Nobody could afford to do that. Business was easy, a lot of cash coming in, and a lot of people wanting to advertise in Yellow Pages. Let's look at the way how business has changed in 2012. One thing I think all of you would acknowledge over here, there has been a fundamental and paradigm shift in the way business is done now. 15 years ago, you would look for your customers. You would do everything to reach out to your customers. You would advertise, you would send pamphlets, you would go out and meet them. Now what is happening? Customers are looking for you. Are you there where your customers are looking for you? And here's an example which I want to show you. When I come to Hyderabad, and I come quite often, it's because it's one of my favorite cities, my wife always tells me that get me some pearls. And Hyderabad is famous for pearls. So I said, sure. If I get the time, I will. And most of the time, I'm not able to do it. But this time, I said, okay, let me try. So what did I do? I went to Google and searched for pearl suppliers in Hyderabad. And what did I get? Hardly any listings of authentic pearl shops or suppliers in Hyderabad. I'd have to go to intermediaries to go and understand which are the pearl suppliers, which are not. Then I said, okay, maybe my understanding of the subject is wrong. Let me change my search queries. So I did pearl shops in Hyderabad. Yes, I got a few listings over there. But are these the only pearl shops in Hyderabad? I'm sure there are more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 shops in Hyderabad selling pearls. The point I'm trying to make over here for all of you is, when customers are looking for you, are you there, present? Are you willing to capture that customer? You know, I was just going through some statistics. On Google, every day, we have more than 50,000 queries related to slides. So the point I'm trying to make is, it is important that you realize the value of this medium and come on it as soon as possible. Let's take a step forward. So, you know, while we were growing up, we were enamored by what is now known as the Britannica Encyclopedia. For everything, you would refer the Britannica. Unfortunately, they have stopped printing. After 244 years, they have stopped printing. And they relate it to something what is known as the internet fad. That's a huge loss for anybody. Now, I'm sure nobody who's running a business would want to meet the same fate what Britannica faced. I'm sure nobody want to do that. So it's up to you whether you want to embrace this change or you want to fight this change and then go out of business. Let's keep moving. So here are some stats which will again add to what I'm trying to say. There are currently about 2 billion internet users in the world and growing at a very fast clip. By 2015, you'll have 40% of our planet Earth hooked on to the internet. And where is this growth going to come from? It's going to come from emerging markets like India, like China, all the Asian economies, like Africa. So more and more of your customers are going to go online. More and more of the audience which you want to reach out to is going to go online. What is the India story? India is the third largest internet market in the world today with more than 120 million internet users, going to cross 300 million internet users by 2015. And that's a huge number by any yardstick. These are phenomenal numbers. Once we reach 300 million users, we'll become the number 2 country in terms of population of people using the internet. That's fairly large. Currently, we are the third largest. We have 70 million mobile internet users already and expected to grow extremely fast. And I'll share some numbers in the slides ahead. 30% of these users spend a lot of time on the internet. So that's a huge number. Of all the time spent on media, 30% of that time is spent on the internet. We will reach 40 billion in e-commerce revenue by 2015. Again, a huge number. And last but not the least, India is a young country. You know, in India, we have more than 30% of our population under the age of 15. Now imagine all these people, about 250 million to 300 million people, will grow using the internet. They will embrace the internet. So apart from the numbers which I already talked about, you'll have a whole exodus of people joining the internet bandwagon. These young Indians who will grow and start embracing and using the internet for their everyday lives. I may be wrong in my estimation of 300 million. This could become 500 million or 600 million. So that's a fairly big and phenomenal number. So what is Google doing? And Sunil spoke a little bit briefly about it, but we have launched something known as the Google Internet Bus, traveled more than 50,000 kilometers, 140 towns, and in 12 states. We have enabled 8 million users online, and 2.5 million have started using it more and more actively. And that is on the consumer side, getting people more and more excited about the internet, getting them to use the internet, and so on and so forth. What do we do for small businesses? There's a lot of things happening on the small business side. We, of course, run something what is known as Get India Business Online, where you can go and get your free website, etc. Apart from that, we have a large base of channel partners who are reaching out to small businesses and helping them go online, use the online medium for their benefit and for their advertising. And here's something which I want to ask you, and here's a trivia which I want to ask people in the audience. Can you tell me how many small businesses are there in India? Can anybody in the audience tell me how many small businesses are there in India? Yes? 3 lakhs. Somebody else? 2 crores. Can I have one more figure? Well, nobody of you was right, and that's why I couldn't give you a swag, but here is the figure. 35 million small businesses in India. That's a phenomenal number. We have the 3rd largest base of small businesses in India. But what is disappointing is only 400,000 of them have some form of website. When you have 35 million small businesses, these are registered small businesses. I don't know how many are unregistered, but these are registered small businesses. Just having 400,000 websites is extremely low. And that is why, we are here to help small businesses use the power of internet and get the maximum benefit out of it. So let me also give you a few data points on some of the trends so that all your suspicion about the internet, which I'm sure is slowly dispelling, and the more time you spend over here in the next 2 days, you will get to learn a lot more. So the 4 or 5 trends which I'm going to talk about, number 1 is search, number 2 is mobile, number 3 is video, number 4 is social, and number 5 is on the cloud services. So here is some phenomenal statistics for people to know. So online search has grown super exponentially. And this graph is just going straight vertically up, which means 20x increase in online search queries. That's phenomenal. 20x increase in the last 5 years. And this is only going up. What my latest understanding is this has already gone up to 25, 30x and increasing year on year. On e-commerce, we currently have $12 billion of e-commerce transactions already. When was the last time you went actually stood in a queue to buy a train ticket or an airline ticket? More than 80% of transactions for travel are now happening online. Stockbroking has gone online. Banking has gone online. Mobile banking has gone online. So it's just phenomenal. From my 25-year-old nephew to my 80-year-old grandmother, they're all using mobile and internet banking. It's just so convenient. It's just so easy. And that is where the world is moving. Here's another example, which we call the zero moment of truth. So all of you must be having products and services which you sell, which consumers come and buy. And you must be reaching out to your customers. When the customer finds out about you, the first thing he does is goes to the internet and checks on your product or service. He reads the reviews, he reads the views, he reads what people have written about it. There's a chance he may still come to you, there's a chance he may not. You know, Google did a survey on the automobile industry. And what we found out was 50% of car buyers in India today, 50% of car buyers, before actually making a purchase consideration, they go to the internet to check the reviews, test drives of the cars and vehicles they want to buy. And 54% of them change their consideration. If they were looking for brand A at one point in time, they suddenly decide, no, I don't want brand A, I want brand B, or I want product B. And that is something phenomenal, the power of internet to changing the buying behavior of customers. So if you feel that, no, my business does not need a website, my products don't need a website, you still need to be present on the internet. You still need people to talk good about your product and services. You cannot ignore that. So what else? On mobile, I mentioned that we have 70 million mobile internet users, going to grow to about 132 million mobile internet users by the end of 2012. And this graph is again as steep as it gets. It's just going to increase phenomenally. We expect the next 200 million internet users in India will be on the mobile, on the smartphones. 1 out of every 3 users will be using the internet on the mobile by 2015. Currently we have 19%, and that will go up to about 30, 33% in 2 years' time, 2-3 years' time. Look at the app usage. It's just phenomenal. It's just breaking all barriers. More than 400% usage growth in the apps. So does your business need an app? Maybe yes. Maybe you need to connect with your customers using an app. Think about it. What do people do when they search on their smartphones? They either call, more than 40% of them have called, or they visit your stores, or they end up actually buying on the mobile website itself. And this is all research which is speaking. This is not some fancy jargon which I have over here. This is all research, and it's confirmed consumer research which is happening. So, like they say, it's not late to be early. Get your site, get your mobile site, make sure that you're there on the internet, and you can get all that on Get India Business Online, that website. So how can you build your online presence? You can be on search, and you can have your landing page using some of the basic website packages that are there. You can be on maps, is the easiest thing to do. You're searched globally, you're searched everywhere. You can build your Google Places page on Google+. Again, very simple. I think if you don't have it, you can do it by the end of the day today. The internet is on, it's live. Just go ahead and build your presence on some of these properties. I spoke about this. You can not only get a plain vanilla website, you can even get a mobile website. Get to link them all and be available on search. When somebody is looking for a product or a service which you provide, you're available. Not only that, you also have the monetization opportunities using Google AdSense. More than 68% of revenue earned by content publishers, people who have websites, is through Google AdSense. Billions of dollars are distributed every year. Without doing anything, you'll start making some money on your website. You can use Google AdWords to drive traffic to your website. And in the coming sessions, you'll have more detailed presentations of all these topics. And I would encourage you to deep dive, to understand, to figure out how you can, as a business, benefit from all of these. YouTube. So the way the media consumption has moved from newspaper to radio, to television, to cable TV, and now YouTube. It's just phenomenal. There was no major change after the cable TV in 1980 in terms of media consumption. People were used to somebody broadcasting and we consuming. If they like to broadcast it at prime time, which they called as prime time, at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, we leave everything and sit in front of the television to watch our favorite program. But I'm not interested in that. I like to finish my work, I like to have dinner with my family, and then I want to see whatever I want to see. Maybe at 11 o'clock at night, maybe at 7 o'clock in the morning. YouTube helped me do that. Video consumption on demand. That's the fundamental shift in terms of video and video consumption. And YouTube has been seeing a phenomenal growth. And before I delve into the next slide, I just want to ask another question. Do any of you know over here, and Googlers, you're not requested to answer, but from the general audience, how many registered users of YouTube in India? Can you be louder, please? 700 million, we don't even have that number of internet users. 140 million, 50 million, 1.2 million. Well, again, nobody is close to it. There are about 33 million internet users or YouTube users in India. And YouTube is the fastest growing website in India. It is growing at 18% quarter on quarter. It is growing faster than Facebook. And by the end of 2 years, I would expect in about 18 months, YouTube will become the second largest media channel in the country with about 100 million users on YouTube. Now that's a phenomenal shift. That is where your customers are. That is where you need to be reaching out to your customers. YouTube is changing the way video, television, etc. is consumed by consumers. Let's look at IPL. I'm sure a whole bunch of you would have seen the IPL on YouTube. It was a phenomenal success with more than 100,000 subscribers in the 6 weeks alone. So many people just logged on to YouTube, and now, I've been getting questions. I hope you will telecast the IPL again next year. YouTube also did the Olympics, and there was phenomenal traction on that. It's just got over, we're just compiling the reports, but the graph is just huge in terms of people consuming video content on YouTube. What else can you do? So we have social platforms like Google+, and you can engage very, very deeply with your customers. Can we have the video, please?
I make buddies of all my customers. It's really kind of a funny thing, and I think I've always had this this ability to kind of break down those walls and make people feel at home with how I work. But I love my customers. I mean, I think as kooky as they can be, as kind of gruff as they can be, whatever, send them all my way, and I can kind of I can cope with them and disarm them and make them feel at ease. I don't expect tips. I don't expect anything, monetarily. That will come. But I just like their loyalty. I like that they come in and they know me and they smile when they come into the shop and feel comfortable. What makes my job easy is I like dealing with people, so I do my best to please them, and that's what drives me.
Great. So I would encourage you all to have a Google Plus page and make sure you're interacting with customers a lot more. What else can you do? You can create and share using Hangouts and pages, etc. You can promote using the +1 button, etc. And there are detailed reports and analytics for your Google Plus page. And I have been using it you can connect with me on Google+, and I'll be happy to interact with you over there. And last but not the least, you are the one who are interested in running your business. You don't want to be bothered about IT. You don't want to be bothered about managing infrastructure. You don't want to be bothered about big hardwares and then upgrading those softwares. You just want to run your business, and Google helps you do that. Through a suite of products for communication, collaboration, managing your documents, managing your presentations. There's a whole bunch of products, and you will learn a lot more about them during the 2 days. And I would encourage you to start using some of those phenomenal products. So, what we have seen in the last few minutes is how some of these amazing products can actually change the way your business functions. Here is a video which I want to talk about a business which was actually dying and how it has actually changed the way and changed their business momentum. Video, please. You can do the same to your business. India is in the midst of a huge digital revolution. And we will be the people who will lead the world into the next phase of internet and digital revolution. We all should be a part of it. You know, internet is a celebration. Let's embrace it. Let's become a part of it. Before I actually end, I quickly wanted to talk a little bit about the future and what the future holds. So, you know, when I was growing up, and I like to go back in time again and again because that's where, you know, you get to know what your future looks like. I saw this movie, Terminator 2, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And some of the things which were shown in this movie, and I'm sure a lot of you would have seen this movie. If you have not, I would encourage you to go and see it because it's one of the most phenomenal movies of our generation. It was released in 1991 by a brilliant director, directed by a brilliant director called James Cameron. Some of the things which were shown in this movie, at least I in my lifetime did not think that it will happen. So let's see this clip, and then we'll see whether some of these things are possible or not.
clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. You forgot to say please.
That was Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger in all his glory. You know, some of the things which are in this clip, this is actually the first clip of the movie. I never believed that it is possible. But ladies and gentlemen, in my lifetime, this has become possible. Presenting to you Google Glass. The video, please.
Meet me in front of Strand Books at 2. Oh man, really? Hey there, guy. Hey there, little guy. Sweet. Remind me to buy tickets for Monsieur Keynote tonight. Where's the music section? Oh, yes, this is it. Is Paul here yet? Hey, dude. How's it going?
Want to go check out that new place I was telling you about?
Sure.
This truck's really good.
Hey, just a second. Cool.
Good to see you again.
Thanks, man.
Got a new place in Offset City.
See you, dude. Whoa, cool. Take a photo of this. Share it to my circles. Oh, I'm running late. Music, stop.
Hi, what's up?
Hey,
Hey.
you want to say something cool?
Yeah, sure. Is that a ukulele?
Yep. Okay, here goes.
That's beautiful.
That's Google Glass for you, ladies and gentlemen. And this brings me to the end of my presentation. I thank you a lot for being here, for coming today morning and being a part of this huge celebration. As Sunil mentioned, I will be there, and most of our panelists and people who will be speaking on today will be there to interact. Please keep tweeting. The internet password is mentioned. We have to beat the record which Bangalore set, and I'm sure Hyderabad can do better. Can you do better than this? Yes. Great. Keep tweeting, keep giving your feedback, and I look forward to keep interacting with you throughout the day. I'm also here for a panel discussion at about 4 o'clock today, so look forward to meeting you all during the day. Thank you very much, and the next session we'll talk a lot about some of the amazing products which I talked about, and so just be here and hang around and enjoy the 2 days. Have a great day. Thank you very much.